What's going on, ProGuides family? My name is Dan, and today we're going to be talking about a topic I know you've all been waiting for. But before we get to that, it's time for our question of the day. Today's question is, what do you think is the most significant change that Riot brought to Act 2? I personally think it's between Killjoy and Deathmatch mode. These two additions to the game definitely are very interesting, and I can't wait to see how Killjoy developed with the meta. Deathmatch is really fun as well, though as I'm sure you guys know if you've played it, sometimes you just get pre-fired from sound or the minimap, which can be quite annoying. 10Z actually tweeted out about how Deathmatch mode has some people just camping around corners using audio cues to get kills, and that is no fun for anyone. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below, and without further ado, let's get into it. First up on our list is a habit that I think you all should definitely get into doing. One of the best ways to climb is to know every matchup and how each agent plays. The easiest way to do that is to play all of the agents for a little bit. I'm not saying that you need to main every agent in Valorant in order to play well, but it is always nice to be able to get inside the head of an enemy player or players and know how they want to react to a certain situation or what their options are in terms of abilities. When we say know the matchup, we're not just saying know what their abilities do, but go beyond that and look up simple things about the agent and see what counters them. Personally, when I was having a lot of trouble dealing with Cypher, what I would do is just pick him in casual matches and play him a lot to see how other people would deal with the things I had trouble dealing with. Then I implemented what I observed my opponents do into my own game plan when playing against Cypher. So if there is that one really annoying lineup or trapwire or sage wall that you feel like you're always just dying to, then start playing that agent a bit more. Use their abilities in the same way that made you mad and caused you to die, and I'm sure you will learn something useful in the process. Now that you've been working on learning more about all the agents, be sure to apply that knowledge in your games. If you did all that prep work and then didn't actually follow your own advice, then you're just going to end up in the dust and feel like you put in all that work for nothing. But on the other hand, another good thing about practicing with every agent is now you will probably feel more comfortable on every agent. So if you see that something isn't working still with the agent you're playing, maybe you found another agent that you actually like playing that can help you deal with the situation even better. It's always good to have an agent or two in your back pocket. You don't necessarily have to main these agents, but being comfortable enough to play them in a ranked match is where you want to be. If you've been following the professional scene of Valorant for a while, then you probably know exactly what we're going to be talking about. However, if you aren't an absolute Valorant fanatic like me, then you might have missed out on some of the amazing plays and awesome strategies that you can use in your own games. Especially now that we have so many teams that are trying to compete for the title of the best team and players in Valorant, we're seeing a lot of strategies come and go in the top scene. Watching some of these professional player replays and games that are up all over YouTube right now might give you some ideas of how to approach different situations, or maybe you can even find a new lineup or sick play that you never thought of before. There's nothing wrong with taking plays from professional players. Just make sure you know why you're executing said play and not just doing it because your favorite player did it once. At the end of the day, it's always better for you to understand how you're going to approach a situation rather than just taking the play from someone else with no understanding why it's an important play. However, if you want to learn why a pro made such a play, a coach could definitely help you break it down and go over every part of it. And that is only a sliver of the coaching options that we offer at ProGuides.com. Create a free account now and get access to 24/7 on-demand coaching from some of the best players in Valorant. Links are in the description down below. But let's get back to talking about some professional players. If you're an opper, then I would recommend watching Skadoodle or Sub Rosa play. They are very good oppers and will play what is considered the correct style of opping. They aren't as flashy as some of Wardell's plays, but that is okay because Wardell is an absolute beast and very few people can replicate his playstyle with that much success. For now, stick with the safer styles of opping, and as you grow and develop your skills more, who knows, maybe you will be the next Wardell. If you are more of a rifle kind of person, then I recommend watching TenZ, Sinatra, or Drone. All of these players have immense rifling skills, and you can definitely learn a thing or two by watching some of their demos. Be on the lookout for how they position themselves, how they pause and wait for their team before making a play, and their general map awareness and communication with their team. At the end of the day, as long as you're putting in the work to watch demos and try and learn as much as you can from them, it doesn't really matter who you watch, as the information that you absorb is all up to you. Dropping into the third spot on our list, we know it's one that we've told you guys about before, but it really is just that important. Warming up properly is the key to making sure that you have the best chance at victory. When you're warming up, what you're doing is training your body to get ready for the stress you're going to put it under. So making sure that you don't overexert yourself before you even hop into a game, start popping heads, will end up hurting you in the long run. Practicing involves pushing your body to its limits for an extended period of time. Warming up means that you're just briefly taking it to its peak to prepare it. You never see sprinters suddenly run a mile as fast as they can 30 minutes before their race, so don't try to push your aim to its limit right before you get into a ranked match. This may seem like simple stuff, but you would be amazed at just how much fixing your warm-up habits can help you in your matches. If you're looking to maximize your warm-up time and not burn out before your match even starts, then start by taking your aim training slow and low. Don't worry about speed, just focus on accuracy. If you're using the practice range, then start at the easy bots for about 5 minutes. It might seem super easy for you, but that's okay. We're not trying to be super fast. You're just aiming to get 30 out of 30 bots killed. If after 5 minutes you've hit 30 out of 30 bots at least once, then move up to medium bots. If you haven't yet reached 30 out of 30 in the first 5 minutes, then keep going for another 5 minutes, and after that, switch to medium bots. On the medium bots, you want to do exactly the same thing. Just focus on trying to hit 30 out of 30 for 10 minutes. It's going to be a lot harder, but just don't think about your speed or the last try. Just turn your brain off and try to hit the targets. Worrying about your score in a warm-up is the easiest way to throw yourself off your own mental game, so try not to get tilted before you have to. Next up on our list today is the German engineer herself, Killjoy. Killjoy was just released pretty recently, and with that, people are still trying to learn how to play her, but more importantly, people are still trying to learn how to play against her. Now is probably the best time to be playing Killjoy, not only because she is a good agent, trust us, she is, but with the amount of stall and info she brings to the team and how teams are not used to dealing with her yet, a good Killjoy can easily make the enemy's life a living hell. Another part of Killjoy that makes her even harder to play against is that she is a utility and zoning-based agent. That means that the best counter to her is teamwork, and we all know the levels of teamwork in ranked. So while you can, and before the jet mains learn some random way to just destroy all your equipment, maybe Killjoy is worth the investment to climb. The best way to abuse Killjoy, though, has to be with a friend. A Killjoy is scary. A Killjoy with backup is a nightmare. If you only remember one thing from this video, though, remember this. In order to be most effective with Killjoy, you have to play kind of passively. Let the enemies run into you. Don't try and fight them, because then you're just giving the enemy team exactly what they want. Killjoy's abilities aren't annoying because they track you and deal damage. They're annoying because the second you turn to try and deal with them, Killjoy will pop out of a corner and start taking off heads. That is why we mentioned that the best way to deal with a Killjoy is teamwork. The enemy team needs to be coordinated enough to have one player deal with Killjoy's equipment and another one ready to deal with Killjoy herself. As you can see, Killjoy will definitely be a pick to look for in your ranked games, and one that I actually recommend picking her up early and getting a few games in with her to see if she's an agent you could see yourself playing for a while. And even if not, it goes back into what we talked about earlier, and at least you are getting used to how the agent plays and will hopefully not be as caught off guard by her tricks. Last but certainly not least, we're going to be looking at probably the thing that you can do the most to climb early, and that is taking the initiative. When we say taking the initiative, there are a few things we're talking about. Firstly, take the initiative to be the first one to talk. Get that conversation flowing between you and your teammates. This will hopefully help communication later into the game and will let people be a bit more open with their comms. The next thing is to take initiative in your rounds. Be the player to entry frag if you are playing an agent that permits it. If not, then take the initiative to be the in-game leader. Don't just order people around, but instead suggest to play and listen to the feedback from the team. Just trying to take control of the whole thing and order people around will only end up making them like you less and probably stop listening to you as the game progresses. Proper communication with your team is important, but no one likes a mic spammer, so if you realize that you're talking a lot, like I almost always do, sometimes it's a good idea to just take a round to just make callouts to be sure you aren't annoying your teammates. At the end of the day, though, you can only control yourself, not others, so take the initiative to always be in the right position, even if your team isn't talking or calming anything. By just simply using the minimap and constantly checking your teammates' positions, you can see where you need to be, because most likely if your team isn't talking, then you are going to be pulling off pretty simple strategies. So by just checking your minimap and seeing where everyone on your team is, you just helped prevent a potential 4v5 as your team was pushing in. Well guys, unfortunately, that is all we have for you today. If you liked the video, then be sure to leave a like, and if you're feeling extra zesty, maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. We put out new content just like this every single day, and so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Don't forget to check out our website, ProGuides.com, to get amazing coaching from some of the best players in the game. Remember to stay safe out there, and I will see you all next time.